In the year 2147, humans took their first big step into the wider galaxy. A single ship called Endeavor jumped through faster-than-light travel and came out near a bright cluster of stars. The crew stared in silence at their screens. Ahead floated the largest structure anyone had ever seen, a huge ring-shaped station that spun slowly, covered in lights and docking bays. It looked like a city built in space. Captain Daniel Hayes stood on the bridge. He was 42 years old, with short brown hair and calm blue eyes. He had spent 20 years in the Navy before becoming a diplomat. Daniel believed in listening first and speaking second. Right now, he felt a mix of excitement and caution. Sensors show over 200 different ship designs docked here, the science officer said. This must be the Galactic Council station. Before Daniel could reply, a clear voice came over the speakers. It spoke in perfect English, though the tone was cold. Unknown vessel. This is Council Patrol. State your origin and purpose. Do not approach further without clearance. Daniel stepped forward. This is the human ship Endeavor. We come from Earth in the Sol system. We seek peaceful contact and wish to learn about your society. There was a long pause. Then the voice returned. Humans, your species is new to this region. Stand by for escort. Do not power weapons or engines. Two sleek silver ships appeared from behind the station and flanked Endeavor. They guided the human ship toward one of the docking arms. Daniel ordered his crew to stay calm and follow every instruction. When the airlock opened, Daniel walked out first. He wore a simple dark suit with the Earth flag on the shoulder. Behind him came 4 other diplomats and 2 security officers. They stepped into a wide corridor lit by soft blue light. Waiting for them were 3 tall figures. The first was Krell, an insect-like being with a hard shell and 6 thin arms. His compound eyes clicked as he scanned the humans. Next stood Lyra Voss, a bird-like alien with bright feathers and sharp talons. She tilted her head, studying Daniel like a puzzle. The third was a floating orb, filled with glowing gas, an energy-based species that communicated through light pulses. Welcome, Krell said in a clicking voice that the translators turned into words. You are the first from your world. The Council has rules for new species. Follow them or leave. Daniel gave a small bow. We respect your rules. We only want friendship and understanding. They were led to a large chamber. The walls curved upward like a dome, and hundreds of seats rose in circles around a central platform. Many seats were filled with aliens of every shape, some with scales, some with fur, some made of crystal or liquid. Holographic screens floated above, showing maps of star systems. Daniel and his team sat in a small visitor section. The session began with formal greetings. Species after species spoke about trade, borders, and laws. Daniel listened carefully. He noticed something odd. Many smaller worlds complained about decisions, but their voices were ignored. The big, old species always won the votes. After 2 hours, it was the humans' turn. Daniel stood up. The chamber grew quiet. We are new here, he said in a clear voice. We have much to learn, but we bring gifts too. Our people value quick thinking, hard work, and helping each other. We hope to share these things. Lyra Voss spread her wings slightly. Short-lived species often act without care. Your kind has only just discovered faster travel. How can you claim value to a council that has stood for 10,000 years? Daniel did not get angry. He smiled a little. Time is short for us. Yes, that is why we try to make every day count. We fix problems fast when we see them. Maybe that can help here too. A low murmur spread through the chamber. Some aliens looked interested, others looked annoyed. Krell raised 2 arms. Observer status is granted for 1 cycle. Your year. You may watch and speak when allowed, but do not interfere. The council decides slowly for good reason. Haste brings chaos. Daniel nodded. We accept. Thank you. The meeting ended. As the humans walked back to their ship, Daniel spoke quietly to his second-in-command, Lisa Grant. They think we're too young and too reckless, he said. But I saw cracks. Some species feel left out. The big ones control everything. Change might come slowly, but it will come. Lisa looked at him. You want to push for more? Not push, Daniel answered. Just show what humans can do. We listen, we adapt, we don't give up easily. Back on Endeavor, Daniel spent nights reading every file the Council shared. He learned bits of alien languages. He studied their history. He made notes about who argued with whom and why some votes always went the same way. One evening he sat alone in his cabin, looking at a hologram of the station. A small message arrived from an unknown source inside the Council. It was short. Watch the trade vote next cycle. The outer worlds lose again. They need a voice. Daniel stared at the words. Someone inside wanted change. He did not know who sent it, but it gave him hope. Weeks passed. The humans attended more meetings. They stayed polite and quiet most of the time. But Daniel asked smart questions. He asked about old laws that no longer worked. He asked why some planets got less help during storms or attacks. The aliens began to notice him. Krell spoke to him privately once. You speak little, but your words make others think, Krell said. Be careful. Not everyone likes new ideas. Daniel met the gaze of the insectoid. I only want fairness, for everyone. Krell clicked softly. Maybe a laugh, maybe doubt. Here, balance matters more. Daniel returned to his ship that night with new determination. He wrote a long report to Earth. He explained the Council's size, its rules, and its problems. He said humans could offer something special, the ability to act when others waited too long. As Endeavor prepared to return home for supplies, Daniel stood on the observation deck. The giant station filled the window, a symbol of power and order. But Daniel saw more. He saw a place that had grown stiff and slow, a place that needed fresh energy. He thought about his home, Earth with its messy cities, its arguments, its endless drive to improve. Humans fought wars, made mistakes, then rebuilt better. They laughed in danger and helped strangers. Those things made them different. Daniel smiled to himself. One step at a time, he whispered. The journey home would take months, but when he came back, he planned to do more than observe. He would show the galaxy what a determined human could achieve. The stars stretched ahead like an open door. Daniel Hayes stepped toward it, ready for whatever came next. Daniel Hayes returned to the Galactic Council Station after 6 months on Earth. The Endeavor docked smoothly this time. Humans had built 2 more ships like it, fast, flexible, and ready for anything. Daniel felt ready too. He had studied more. He had talked to experts back home. He knew the Council needed help, even if they did not admit it yet. The big chamber looked the same. Hundreds of aliens sat in their seats. Lights flickered on holographic maps. Voices argued in many languages. Daniel took his place in the observer section with Lisa Grant and the rest of the team. He listened quietly. Then the emergency alert sounded. Red lights flashed across every screen. A deep voice boomed through the hall. A rogue neutron star fragment has broken free from its system. It moves at high speed toward the core sectors. Impact in 5 standard months will destroy 3 member worlds and damage 12 more. Billions of lives at risk. Gasps and clicks filled the room. The fragment was a huge piece of dead star material, dense, hot, and tearing space apart as it flew. It pulled gravity in strange ways and shot out deadly radiation. Krell stood up first. We must form a committee to study options. Evacuation protocols need review. Resource shares must be fair. Lyra Voss agreed. Precedent demands consensus. We vote on every step. Debates started right away. Days turned into weeks. They argued about who should pay for ships. They argued about which planets to save first. Smaller species begged for faster action, but the big ones wanted more time to plan. Daniel watched it all. He saw fear in the eyes of delegates from the threatened worlds. He saw frustration grow. The fragment kept coming closer each day. One night, Daniel met secretly with Maya Torres, the aquatic representative from a water world. She had smooth blue skin and kind eyes. She spoke softly. "Our people cannot wait months," she said. "Our young will not survive long evacuations. The council moves too slow." Daniel nodded. "Humans face disasters too. Storms, quakes, fires. We learn to act fast. We build what we need quickly. We change plans when things go wrong." Maya looked at him. "Can your people help?" "We can try," Daniel said, "but the council must let us." The next session, Daniel asked to speak. The chamber quieted a little. Many remembered his calm words from before. "The fragment will not wait for perfect plans," Daniel said. "We have only months, not years. Humans offer a way. Our ships use simple parts that snap together like blocks. Engineers change designs in hours, not weeks. Our pilots train to handle surprises. Let us lead a task force. We will work with your teams. We will move the fragment off course." Varrock Thal, the tall reptilian senator, hissed loudly. "Humans rush, they make mistakes. One error, and the fragment could hit more worlds. We need careful study." Some aliens nodded with Varrock. Others looked unsure. Krell raised his arms. "The proposal is noted. We will discuss in committee." But the fragment sped up. Sensors showed it pulling in dust and gas, growing stronger. 2 more weeks of debate passed. Then a new alert came. The path had shifted. Now 4 worlds faced direct hit. Panic spread. In an emergency closed session, the council still could not agree. Delegates shouted. Holograms showed red warning lines across maps. Daniel stood again. This time his voice was firm but kind. "Time is gone. Billions will die if we wait. Humans volunteer. We will send our best ships and people now. Join us or not, but we will not stand by." The chamber went silent. Lyra Voss tilted her head. "You risk your own ships?" "Yes," Daniel said, "because waiting is the bigger risk." After long minutes, Krell spoke. "Provisional approval. Humans may lead a joint force, but council observers go with you. Any failure is your responsibility." Daniel bowed. "Thank you. We will not fail." Preparations started fast. Human engineers arrived on fast transports. They brought crates of modular parts, engines, shields, grapples, thrusters. Alien teams came too. Some were curious, some were doubtful. Daniel set up command on a large human ship called Resolve. He worked side by side with Krell's engineers and Maya's navigators. The plan was simple but bold. They would build a giant net of force fields and push tugs. Human ships would attach grapples to the fragment and pull it sideways while others pushed with engines. It needed perfect timing. One mistake, and the fragment could spin out of control. As they flew toward the danger zone, Daniel talked to his crews every day. "We don't know everything about this thing," he said, "but we know how to fix problems when they come. Stay sharp. Help each other. Adapt." The aliens watched in surprise. Human workers laughed while they worked long hours. They shared food and stories. When a part broke, they did not wait for orders. They fixed it with spare pieces and kept going. One day, the fragment hit a gas cloud. Radiation spiked. Shields failed on 2 alien ships. Panic started. Daniel ordered human teams to help. They linked their shields to protect the damaged ships. Engineers climbed outside in suits to repair connections, while radiation burned around them. An alien pilot said later, "They moved like it was nothing. No fear, just work." After weeks of hard effort, they reached position. The fragment loomed ahead, huge, glowing red, cracking with energy. It looked like a burning mountain in space. Daniel gave the final command. All ships, engage. Grapples shot out. Engines roared. The net formed slowly. The fragment fought back, its gravity pulling ships closer. Alarms screamed. A push-tug lost power. Daniel sent a human repair team in small craft. They fixed it under fire from radiation bursts. Slowly, very slowly, the fragment changed course. Meters at first, then kilometers. Cheers came from every ship, human shouts mixed with alien clicks and trills. After 4 tense days, sensors confirmed it. The fragment would miss all worlds. It would fly harmlessly into empty space. The task force returned as heroes. The council chamber waited for their report. Daniel stood once more on the central platform. He looked tired, but proud. We did it together, he said. Humans led, but every species helped. We proved that fast action saves lives. We proved that working as one matters more than old rules sometimes. The chamber erupted in sound, not anger, but respect. Many delegates stood. Maya Torres smiled wide. Even Krell clicked in approval. Varak Thal stayed seated, eyes narrow, but he said nothing. Lyra Voss spoke for the record. Humanity has shown value. Full membership is proposed. Daniel felt a rush of pride, not for himself, but for his people. They had come as strangers, now they stood as equals. As he walked back to his ship, Lisa Grant fell in step beside him. You did it, she said. No, Daniel answered. We did it, and this is just the start. The stars outside the station seemed brighter. The galaxy had seen what humans could do when lives were on the line. Daniel Hayes knew the road ahead would be harder, but he also knew humans never backed down from a challenge. The rescue of the core worlds changed everything for humanity in the Galactic Council. Full membership came quickly. A new section opened in the Great Chamber with seats for human delegates. Daniel Hayes took one of them. He wore the same simple dark suit, but now it carried the small emblem of Earth beside the Council star. The chamber felt different now. Aliens nodded when Daniel walked in. Some even greeted him by name. Maya Torres swam up to him in her water-filled hover chair and touched his arm gently with a fin-like hand. You gave us hope, she said. Many worlds will remember. But not everyone was happy. Varak Thal watched from his high seat. His scales shifted in quiet anger. He spoke to his allies in low hisses. Humans were too new, too bold. They threatened the old ways. Daniel did not waste time. He started small. In security meetings, he suggested changes to emergency rules. If danger comes fast, he said, we need quick votes, not months of talk. Let small teams decide when lives hang in the balance. Some delegates agreed. Others shook their heads. Tradition keeps us safe, one said. Daniel answered calmly. Tradition also lets danger win sometimes. He spoke to smaller species too. He visited their sections after sessions. He listened to their stories. Worlds with few votes, resources taken by bigger powers, promises broken year after year. Daniel took notes. He remembered names. He asked questions that showed he cared. One delegate from a desert planet named Zora came to him privately. Our minds feed the council ship, Zora said, but we get little in return. Our children go hungry, while others feast. Daniel thought for a moment. What would help most? Fair trade, Zora answered, and a voice that is heard. Daniel promised nothing big yet, but he started talking about it in open sessions. He used simple words. If one world suffers, the whole council weakens. Help the small ones, and we all grow stronger. Maya Torres spoke in support. A few others joined. Whispers grew into open talk. Then came the trade crisis. A rich mining world called Corin blocked shipments of rare metals. They wanted higher prices. The metals went into shields and engines for half the galaxy. Without them, shipyards stopped. Fleets could not move. Tensions rose fast. Corin delegates stood firm. We set the price now, their leader said. Pay or go without. Bigger species threatened force. Smaller ones feared war. The chamber filled with shouts and warnings. Daniel asked for the floor. The speaker gave it, though Varrock looked annoyed. Force will break more than it fixes, Daniel said. Threats make enemies. We need a way where everyone wins a little. He walked to the center platform. A hologram appeared above him, a simple chart he had made. It showed metal costs, ship needs, and worker pay on Corrin. Here is the truth, Daniel said. Corrin workers dig hard. They risk their lives. They deserve fair pay. But the galaxy needs these metals steady and cheap enough for all. So let us share the gain. He pointed to parts of the chart. Raise the price a little, but give Corrin extra help. New tools, better safety gear, schools for their young. In return, they promise steady supply for 10 years. No sudden blocks. The Corrin leader narrowed his eyes. And who pays for the help? Everyone who uses the metals, Daniel answered. A small tax on each shipment. Spread thin, it costs little. But for Corrin, it means better lives. Silence fell. Delegates looked at the hologram. Numbers made sense. No one lost everything. Everyone gained something. Maya Torres spoke next. This is fair. My world supports it. Others followed. Even some big species nodded. This breaks old contracts, he said. Daniel turned to him. Old contracts can change when they hurt people. We fix them, or we break apart. The vote came fast. It passed by a wide margin. The metals flowed again. Corrin got help. The galaxy kept moving. Word spread across planets. Delegates told their people about the human who found a middle path. Letters and messages came to Daniel. Thanks from workers. Praise from leaders. Varrock grew more angry. He met with his close allies in private rooms. Hayes builds support, he said. He speaks to the weak. If we do not stop him, he will change everything. Daniel felt the tension. Guards watched him more closely. Strange looks followed him in corridors. But he kept working. He started a small program. He called it the Bridge Group. Young delegates from many worlds met with him once a week. They shared problems. They learned from each other. Daniel taught them human ways, how to argue without hate, how to find common ground, how to keep going when things looked bad. One young delegate, a furry creature named Wren from a cold moon, spoke up in a meeting. I thought the council was perfect. Now I see it can be better. Daniel smiled. It will be better, because people like you want it. Months passed. Daniel's name became known, not as a conqueror, but as someone who listened and acted. Aliens began to copy his style. They asked questions in meetings. They pushed for small changes. One day Maya pulled Daniel aside. You have friends now, many, but you also have enemies. Varrock planned something. Be careful. Daniel nodded. I know, but I did not come here to hide. I came to help. He looked out a wide window at the stars. The galaxy was vast and old, but it was changing. Humans had brought something new, not weapons or power, but the simple belief that things could improve. Daniel thought of Earth, its noisy cities, its people who argued and then worked together, its history of falling and rising again. That spirit lived in him. It lived in every human who now walked the council halls. He turned back to the chamber. Another session would start soon. He had more to say, more to do. The old ways still held strong, but cracks showed. Light came through those cracks, and Daniel Hayes planned to widen them, one careful step at a time. The old chancellor, a wise, crystalline being named Eleron, announced his retirement in a quiet session. His body had begun to dim after centuries of service. The chamber filled with respect and worry. For the first time in many generations, no clear successor waited in the wings. Names came up fast. Varric Thal put himself forward. He promised strength and order. A few large species backed him. Another candidate was an ancient tree-like diplomat from the Outer Rim. She spoke of patience and tradition. Smaller worlds pushed their own choices, but none could gather enough support. Days turned to weeks. Votes failed again and again. Alliances broke. Old promises turned sour. The council needed a leader soon. Without one, decisions stalled. Trade slowed. Border disputes grew hotter. In a late-night emergency meeting, Maya Torres stood up. Her water tank glowed softly. "We are stuck," she said. "The usual names cancel each other. We need someone new, someone who has proven he can unite us." Eyes turned to Daniel Hayes. He sat quietly in his seat, listening as always. A delegate from a mining world spoke next. Hayes found the way during the fragment crisis. He solved the core and trade war. He listens to the small voices. Why not him? Murmurs spread. Some laughed. Others nodded slowly. Varric Thal rose tall, his tail lashed. A human, with a lifespan of less than 100 years? He lacks the wisdom of age. He lacks detachment. Humans feel too much. They act on emotion. The Chancellor must stand above all that. Daniel did not rise to the insult. He waited until the room quieted. "I do not seek this role," he said in a steady voice. "But if the Council asks, I will serve. Not for power, for the chance to make things better." More voices joined. Maya spoke again. "He has no old debts, no secret deals. He stands clean, he listens, he leads." And in that moment, the tide turned. "He has shown fairness, time after time." A vote was called. Not to choose yet, but to see if Daniel could be considered. It passed narrowly. The idea moved forward. Varric acted quickly. He spread words through private channels. Humans want to rule. They hide ambition behind kind smiles. Hayes will favor his own kind. He will break our balance. Rumors flew. Some delegates grew doubtful. Others defended Daniel. The chamber split deeper. Then the council did something rare. They opened the choice to a galaxy-wide vote. Not just delegates, but leaders from associate worlds, trade guilds, even common citizens on many planets could send their voice. It would take 1 month, the first such vote in over 1,000 years. Daniel did not campaign with speeches or promises of glory. He traveled quietly. He visited worlds in a small shuttle. He walked streets on dusty planets. He swam in oceans with aquatic people. He sat in meeting halls on cold moons. Everywhere he went, he listened first. He asked simple questions. What do you need? What holds you back? How can the council help? People spoke freely. A farmer on a dry world told him about failing rains and empty wells. A factory worker on an industrial moon spoke of long hours and little pay. A young student on a learning station asked why new ideas took so long to reach the schools. Daniel took notes. He shared stories from Earth, not to boast, but to show. My world once fought over small things, he said. We made mistakes, big ones, but we learned, we changed, we kept trying. He never promised miracles. He said only that he would work hard and stay honest. Word spread. Videos of his visits played on news feeds across the galaxy. People saw a human who did not shout or demand. They saw someone who cared. Varric grew desperate. He held large meetings on powerful worlds. He warned of chaos under human rule. He showed old records of Earth's wars. They destroy what they touch, he said. But the attacks backfired. Many remembered the fragment rescue. They remembered the trade fix. They saw Daniel's calm face in the videos. They compared it to Varric's anger. Support grew from unexpected places. Engineers who worked on the fragment project spoke up. He trusted us. He let us try new ways. Workers from small worlds said he heard us when others did not. The vote drew near. Tension filled the council station. Delegates waited in small groups. Hologram screens showed live counts from across the stars. On the final day, Daniel stood alone on an observation deck. Stars wheeled outside. He thought of home, of his family long ago, of friends who believed in him. He felt no fear, only a quiet hope. The results came in the great chamber. Every seat was filled. Screens showed the tally. Varric led at first, then the numbers shifted. Smaller worlds poured in votes, associate planets added theirs, trade groups followed. When the final count appeared, silence fell. Daniel Hayes had won, not by a landslide, but by enough. The margin was thin, but clear. Cheers erupted, not from everyone, but from many. Maya Torres clapped her fins. Delegates from outer worlds stood and bowed. Even some who had doubted him joined in. Verak Thal stayed seated. His face showed no feeling, but his claws dug into his seat. The speaker called Daniel to the central platform. An ancient podium rose from the floor. It held the Oath Stone, a smooth black rock older than most species. Daniel stepped forward. He placed his hand on the stone. The chamber lights dimmed. "I swear to serve the Galactic Council," he said. "Not one species, but all. I swear to listen, to act with care, to seek fairness. I swear to protect the weak and guide the strong. If I fail, let the galaxy judge me." The oath was sealed. Applause rolled through the chamber like a wave. It lasted long minutes. When it quieted, Daniel spoke again. His voice was simple and clear. "I am not here to change everything overnight. I am here to work with you. The galaxy is vast and beautiful. It holds many ways of living. Our strength comes from all of them together. Humans bring one thing above all, the belief that tomorrow can be better. Let us prove it." He stepped back. The new era began. Outside the station, ships moved in their endless dance. Planets turned, stars burned on. Daniel Hayes, once a stranger from a small blue world, now led the greatest alliance in known space. He felt the weight of it, but he also felt ready. The path ahead would not be easy. Enemies waited. Challenges loomed. Yet he knew one truth, deep in his bones. Humans did not give up. The great chamber lights dimmed for a moment after the oath. Then they brightened again, soft and golden. Daniel Hayes stood on the central platform, hands still resting on the ancient black stone. The applause faded slowly into a deep quiet. Every eye in the room watched him. Some faces showed hope, some showed doubt. A few showed open dislike. Daniel took a slow breath. He looked around at the hundreds of species, tall, short, scaled, feathered, glowing, swimming in tanks, rooted in soil pots. This was his new home. Not Earth anymore, but the heart of the galaxy. He spoke in a clear, calm voice that carried to every corner. "Thank you for your trust," he said. "I know many of you wonder if a human can lead something this big. I wonder it too sometimes. But I promise this. I will not rule alone. I will listen. I will work with all of you. The council is not one voice. It is many voices together." He stepped down from the platform. No grand show, no long speech, just simple words. That was Daniel's way. The first days as Chancellor were busy. Assistants from many worlds came to help. They set up a new office near the chamber, a plain room with big windows to the stars. Daniel kept the desk small. He liked to see people's faces when they talked. One of the first changes came fast. He called a meeting of the security heads. Verak Thal sat at the far end of the table, arms crossed. "Old rules make us slow," Daniel said. "When danger comes, we need fast answers. I propose small response teams. Mixed crews from different species. They train together. They decide quick when seconds matter." Verak hissed. "You want to give power to mixed groups? That breaks chain of command." Daniel looked at him straight. "Chain of command is good until it kills people. We saw it with the neutron fragment. Waiting almost cost billions. These teams will save lives. They report to the full council after." Maya Torres nodded from her tank. "My people support this. Speed without chaos." Others agreed. The vote passed. The first teams formed within weeks. Humans trained beside insectoids, avians, and energy beings. They learned each other's ways. They laughed at mistakes. They grew strong together. Next, Daniel started uplift programs. Many small worlds had poor tech, Weak defenses, little trade. He set up a fund, not big gifts, but tools and teachers. Engineers from Earth came to share modular ship designs. Doctors taught simple medicine. Teachers showed new ways to learn. On one dry planet, a village got clean water pumps in days instead of years. The people sent a message to Daniel: "You did not promise the stars, you gave us water. That means more." He read every message. He answered when he could. Verak kept working against him. He spoke in private groups. He blocked votes when he could. But Daniel did not fight back with anger. He answered with facts and results. Each success made Verak's words weaker. One big test came early. A pirate fleet attacked trade routes near the outer rim. They were fast and cruel. Ships vanished. Cargo disappeared. Fear spread. The old way would have taken months to gather a fleet. Daniel acted in hours. He sent 3 mixed response teams. Human pilots flew lead ships. They used quick tricks, fake signals, fast jumps, surprise attacks. The pirates expected slow council ships. They got fast hunters instead. In 2 weeks, most of the fleet was captured or scattered. Trade routes opened again. Merchants cheered. When the teams returned, the chamber gave them a hero's welcome. Daniel stood with the crews. He did not take credit. He pointed to each one. This pilot saved a convoy. This engineer fixed a drive in battle. This navigator found the hidden base. We won because we worked as one. The galaxy noticed. News feeds called it the new era. People talked about the human chancellor who made things move. Innovation rose. Scientists from different worlds shared ideas openly. New ships flew better. New medicines healed faster. Borders felt safer. Daniel never forgot where he came from. He kept a small hollow picture on his desk. Earth from space, blue and fragile. Sometimes late at night, when the station slept, he looked at it. One evening Maya swam to his office. "You look tired," she said. "I am," Daniel answered with a small smile, "but good tired." "You changed much in little time," she said. "Many feared you would push humans above others. Instead, you lift everyone." Daniel shook his head. "Humans are not better. We are just stubborn. We fall down a lot, but we get up, we try again. That is all I bring." Maya's eyes shone. "That is enough." Years passed. Not easy years. There were arguments, there were setbacks. A virus hit some worlds. Daniel worked day and night to share cures. A star went unstable near a colony. Response teams saved thousands. Each challenge made the council stronger. Verak never became a friend. But one day, he came to Daniel's office. He stood stiff. "I still think you are wrong for this role," Verak said. "But I see results. The galaxy is not weaker, it is alive again." Daniel nodded. "That is all I wanted." Verak left without more words. It was not peace, but it was respect. Daniel grew older. His hair turned gray. Lines appeared around his eyes. But his voice stayed steady. His mind stayed sharp. On the 10th year of his leadership, a great assembly gathered. Species came from every corner. They honored the work done. They thanked the human who had led them. Daniel stood one last time on the platform. He looked older, but his eyes still held the same calm fire. "I came here as a stranger," he said. "You gave me trust. I tried to earn it every day. I did not do it alone. You did it with me. The council is yours. It always was. Keep it strong. Keep it fair. Keep believing tomorrow can be better." He stepped down. Cheers filled the chamber. Not just polite claps. Real joy. After that, Daniel stepped back slowly. New leaders rose. Some human, most not. The changes he started stayed. The council moved faster when it needed to. It listened better. It helped more. Daniel lived many more years. He watched from a quiet home on a green moon near Earth. Sometimes visitors came, old friends like Maya, young delegates with new ideas. One night, As stars filled the sky, Daniel sat outside. He thought of the day he first saw the giant station. He thought of the risks, the fights, the small wins. A soft wind blew. He smiled. Humanity did not conquer the galaxy, he whispered. We just helped it remember how to grow. He looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there, the council still met. Ships still flew, worlds still turned, and because one determined human refused to give up, the galaxy was a little kinder, a little braver, a little more alive. Daniel Hayes closed his eyes. He rested easy.